wish that I could know why you decided to show, why you didn't just go, why you still call her Jane Doe. She was 13, not yet 16, not even a tween. Her friends said it would be funny if she met Epstein. He got a gig for the weekend, said she could bring a friend, said he needed someone who looked young, a blonde and a wig. And she thought it was harmless, so she went with her friend, and her friend thought it was harmless, so she went with her friend, and her friend thought it was harmless, so she went with her friend. And they said they all met a nice man, and his name was Prince Andrew, and she thought he was harmless, so she went with her friend, and her thought he was harmless, so she went with her friend. And Katie thought he was harmless, so she went with her friend. And she met a girl named Katie Johnson, and she looked just like me, and they thought it was harmless, so they went with their friend. And I thought it was harmless, so I went with my friend. And Katie thought it was harmless, so she went with her friend. And she thought it was harmless, so she went with her friend. And Katie thought it was harmless, so she went with her friend. And she thought it was harmless, so she went with her friend. And Katie thought it was harmless, so she went with her friend. And her friend's friend thought it was harmless, so she went with her friend. And she thought it was harmless, so she went with her friend. And she thought it was harmless, so she went with her friend. And Katie thought it was harmless, so she went with her friend. And her friend's friend thought it was harmless, so she went with her friend. And she thought it was harmless, so she went with her friend. And she thought it was harmless, so she went with her friend. And Katie thought it was harmless, so she went with her friend. And her friend's friend thought it was harmless, so she went with her friend. And she thought it was
Prince. Well, he's not a prince anymore. Formerly known as Prince. Andrew Moulton Windsor was arrested today. A big royal fish went down. I wonder who's next.
Saint-Germain in the membrane.
All right, I'm sorry. I called him Moulton. I made a mistake. I was like Prince Moulton Andrew. That's not right. No, Prince Andrew Moulton Windsor. No, okay, actually, Prince Mountbatten Windsor, or now he's known as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. We just knew him as Prince Andrew, but the human being formerly known as Prince has been arrested. Hallelujah!
Insane is the end game. Cure sacrifices a goat. 7 months running. Listen to me, try to believe, because I deceive. I deceive. That it heals for those who can see. Saint-Germain in the membrane. Insane is the end game. You are to blame when I created the game. Let's do that. Saint-Germain, let's do that. Saint-Germain. Let's dance, pretend we're friends, and pretentious and contentious. Let's be sentimental. Let's be sentimental.
And that song is dedicated to Thomas Schoenberger. Mr. Saint Germain. You know, Thomas, I think historically Saint Germain wore wigs. Do you secretly put on your wig and say, I am that I am that I am Saint Germain, me? Right. Okay. One more song before we get started. Let's go.
Indigenous insectoids weaving you the void, drought in your brain, making you insane. Wrapping up Benjamin Fulford, living the absurd like a blue avian nerd, keeping the lines blurred. Captain Mark Richards, a secret space program drifter, getting married while in prison, making you listen, create a new religion, doing the reptilian, making you forget my sins. Super soldier talks in prison, Nordic and Draco, shape shifting in my Winnebago. Indigenous insectoids weaving you the void, drown in your brain, making you insane. Rapping the Benjamin forward, living the absurd like a blue aviator, keeping the lines rapping like Benjamin forward, living the absurd like a blue aviator, keeping the lines blurred. Rapping like Benjamin Fulford. Word.
All right, welcome to Not My Rabbit Hole. And you know what? Isn't it great that the former prince was arrested today? Finally, justice is starting. Woo! You know, when I woke up this morning, I looked at Facebook. By the way, I am on Facebook. You can find me. Just put in Terry Joyce. There's not very many TEREJOYCEs on Facebook, so I'm pretty easy to find if you put it on in the search bar. But I woke up and of all people, I got the news from Vanessa Bates, and which is Max Spear's mother, and she said that the Andrew has been arrested, and I was like, oh my god! And I immediately went in and Googled it and pulled up everything, and then I did my post about it, and it just feels so good, doesn't it? I mean, it I don't know about you guys, but I was starting to get depressed about it. It's like this dark cloud that was hanging over us. Like, is there no justice? Is it just perfectly okay that they did what they did? We're just going to, talk about it and politicize it and, make it a right-left thing and stand by our man that we, go behind the red and the blue flag, the red and the blue team. But no, well, I guess they don't have that in England. The England like, fuck it, Andrew's going down. That Andrew's going down. Andrew's going down. We don't care if he's a prince. We don't care if he's royalty. We don't care if he's a monarchy. We don't care if he's the president of the United States, do we? It's always interesting sometimes how England takes the lead in many ways. I'm probably going to piss people off on that, but we are from there, right? I mean, we did come there from. They are basically our ancestors. We are directly related to England. And they arrested their own bloodline. Isn't that great? Isn't that great? Oh, it may not be good to be the king. It may not be, it's definitely not good to be the prince. Andrew, formerly known as a prince, or who is the real prince? Is it Prince, his purple royal badness? All right. We are going to talk about Sarah Rachel Adams today. I know. But you know what? This is Epstein related. It's so interesting how this is all bunched in just like a few days. But 2 days ago, Sarah R. Adams had her Facebook taken down. I believe I did talk about that in my Bean Soup show, my Bean Soup stream, right? I mentioned how her Facebook was taken down. By the way, Nasty Troll Media, I know you're listening, so hi. And but I just want to let you know that you did a few graphics, and you said butt onion bean soup. There's, first of all, there's no butt in the recipe. But anyway, but yeah, it's not onion bean soup. It's just bean soup. It's just black bean soup. Black bean soup. Right? Oh, and did anybody check it out? Blazing Scar's racist comment that she made about me. She called it beaner soup, which is the same thing that I don't see that video anymore. Did YouTube take it down, Liz? You had a Liz Moldovan, Liz M, had a post about Adam Camacho. No, it was a live stream that called him a beaner in it. So guess both Liz and Blazin like to use racist slurs on people and title their videos that way on YouTube. We'll see how long that stays up. Blazin. Like, is society, is YouTube going to put up with that? People going to put up with that? Just more racial insults because you feel like you're entitled? Well, former Prince Andrew, the former prince, got arrested. So nobody is exempt of being held accountable for their actions. Just keep that in mind. And I think I might play another song before I get started on any more of this banter, this opening monologue. This song is dedicated to Sarah Rachel Adams.
Sarah the psychic, intuitive healer, the shroom dealer squealer. She almost died. But Sarah lied. No empathy for the past.
right, but beyond racism on let me stop this here. Welcome back to Not My Rabbit Hole. So yeah, beyond racism happening on YouTube with a certain group of people, if you want to group people as being a group, which has been permeating, this since 2017, basically, Mr. Saint Germain associated to all of it. Woo! That's right. Oh yeah, Mr. Schoenberger. Okay, so Sarah, who's all of a sudden inserted herself into all of this, right? All of this other stuff that's been going on. But Sarah and I have like a long history between each other. And I've already talked about it, so I don't want to go there today. I just want to get right to the point. Sarah did have her Facebook page taken down. And she got 180-day suspension. And how this works on Facebook is you have 180 days to appeal the suspension, but it's really kind of the kiss of death, but she got it back. Now, in the meantime, when she did lose her, the day that she was offline, completely wiped out of Facebook, she still had her Instagram page. And I'm going to go ahead and share, I actually posted what she said on my YouTube community page. And if you haven't subscribed to Not My Rabbit Hole yet, please do, and you will get notifications of my posts, because my posts inflame people almost more than my shows do. See, I guess for some reason my little community page on YouTube really is ruffling some feathers. And so anyway, this is a screenshot of Sarah, taking her, hi, Sarah, your Facebook account has been suspended. This is because your account or activity on it doesn't follow our community standards on child sexual exploitation. Now, Sarah tried to spin this that it was like, it's an Epstein thing. Like I'm being criticized because I'm talking about Epstein. I just want to make sure that you're seeing that there, right? Now, child sexual exploitation. Now, I heard otherwise. All right. I heard it wasn't about Epstein. And I'm not going to say anything else on that, because I promise not to say what that is. Okay. I can't give you any other details on that in protection of other people, but it didn't have to do with Jeffrey Epstein or anything to do with Epstein. And even without even mentioning that, her argument, the Epstein argument, is weak, because, you know what, Sarah, if you're listening, you probably will listen. Everybody's posting about Epstein today, especially today. 2 days later, the former prince, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. God, I never heard the Mountbatten. Andrew, I don't even know. Prince, did you ever know that? What's Mountbatten Windsor? Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. Okay, now you guys are going to really give me shit for this, but we never called him that before. We just said Prince Andrew. So I'll just say the former man known as the prince. That's the code. I'm not even going to try. Mountbatten. I'm going to Google that. Why Mountbatten? Why does the prince have the name Mountbatten Windsor? Because he was renamed that, right? Or he said, you will no longer be the prince. You will be Prince Andrew Mountbatten, and a woman will have to Google your name on her stream. Okay. The surname Mountbatten Windsor was adopted to combine Queen Elizabeth, its House of Windsor, with Prince Philip's surname Mountbatten. Created in 1960, it serves as a personal surname for their male line descendants who do not hold HRH, His Royal Highness titles, acting as a compromise to ensure Philip's name was represented alongside the royal house. Okay, that's why we never heard it, because it's only given to you when you get demoted. So first the prince gets demoted. Oh, by the way, Sarah, I'm sure everybody on Facebook was posting about that, about how like he got stripped of the prince title because of the Epstein files, because his association to Epstein and Virginia Guthrie. And I assure you, all those people are still on Facebook. They're still there. They still have profiles, and they don't have 80-day suspension. They don't. Right? They just don't. All right. So today, though, I mean, are we all going to be 100 days suspended? I wonder, because we're all posting about Prince Andrew, and Meta is so against anybody talking about the Epstein files. Like, to say that to use that excuse, right, to cover up something else that maybe you got in trouble for. I mean, it's back. Obviously, Facebook probably found you not guilty. Maybe they looked at something, looked at a report, looked at it again, and realized it wasn't that. Maybe that's the case, right? I'm just speculating here. So because to have somebody, your Facebook account has been suspended. This is because your account or activity on it doesn't follow our community standards on child sexual exploitation. What, you know what? Let me look up, just out of curiosity. Let me look up what that means. Okay. Let me just look it up. I'm gonna look it up on Facebook here really quick. What does it mean to violate Facebook's guidelines on what is it? What was it again? Okay,
I found this on the web.
Oh, thank you, Siri. Man, that's kind of scary, right? Okay, wait. Okay, in child sexual exploitation. Okay. Violating Facebook guides regarding child exploitation means engaging in, promoting, or sharing content that depicts, encourages, or enables the abuse, endangerment, or sexualization of minors. Meta has a zero tolerance policy for such violations, and they are enforced strictly regardless of the user's intent. So this has nothing to do with Epstein. Okay. Violations include, but not limited to, the following behaviors: child abuse material, CASM, sharing, creating, or soliciting images or videos of real or non-real children in sexually explicit situations, child nudity, posting, sharing, or allowing images of nude or partially nude children, even if taken with good intentions, e.g. bath photos, as these are removed to prevent misuse. Sexualization of children, posting content that sexualizes children, including but not limited to using inappropriate, sexualized, or affectionate language, hashtags in captions or comments about children. Using children in sexual fetish context. Content depicting restraints, arousal, or sexualized costumes. Grooming and inappropriate interactions using messenger or public posts to solicit or arrange or plan sexual encounters with children. Sextortion, coercing money, favors, or further images by threatening to expose private or sexual images of a minor. Mocking, identifying or mocking victims of child sexual exploitation by name or image. Consequences of violations. Violating these policies leads to severe immediate action by Meta, Removal of content. Any violating content is removed, often automatically. Account disabling. Accounts that share this material are typically disabled immediately. Reporting to authorities. When Meta identifies apparent child exploitation, they report it to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, which then refers cases to law enforcement globally. Permanent bans. Repeated or severe violations result in permanent ban from using Facebook or Instagram. Intent doesn't matter. Over 75% of content reported to NCMEC by Meta was shared by others with no apparent intent or harm, e.g., trying to raise alarm, but it is removed anyway to protect the child in the image. Accidental violations. Even if you were sharing a photo you think is innocent, if it violates the strict definition of child nudity or sexualization, it will be removed. False flags. Users have reported that Meta automated systems sometimes wrongly flag benign photos, e.g., children in bathtub, as violations, leading to wrongful account deactivation. Okay, and so I just did a deep dive mode too, just just for curiosity. I'm reading. This is like brought up by AI, right? But it's giving me the link to the. I get the link to the YouTube. I mean the what it is on Meta. So let me show what's on Meta. I'm gonna screen share what is shown on Meta here. So this is a violation that this kind of violation is what Sarah Rachel Adams really had. And now that I've read through that, why did she not just come clean and say what was really happening and try to blame it off on some sort of that she's a victim of censoring because of Epstein? Nobody has been censored like since Trump has been in office the second time, and we've had the files come out and everything. It would be against the rules, really, for at this point for Meta to censor free speech about something that's being so talked publicly in the mainstream media right now. I mean, there are people all over YouTube, really good journalists or influencers or online personalities that are covering the topic of Jeffrey Epstein and the Epstein files. One guy that I watch all the time is Political Punk. I love what he does right now and how he analyzes what's happening with Epstein. But so what I'm going to show you now is in a moment is Sarah Rachel Adams' discussion of how she has experienced Epstein loosh from some of the victims that she got near or something. It's very confusing, but she goes immediately after, right away, I wouldn't say immediately, but within the same day when she lost her Facebook, she still had her Instagram because she didn't have the same violations on Instagram. So she still had an Instagram account, even though Facebook or, Zuckerberg owns, they're linked. Facebook and Instagram are owned by the same company, right? It's all Meta. So, but as you can see, it says I basically read exactly the same things as OpenAI was saying. We do not allow content that endanger children, such as content that contains nudity or physical abuse or content that sexually exploits children on Facebook and Instagram. When we find this type of violating content, we remove it regardless of the context of the person's motivation for sharing it. We may also disable the account of the person who shared it unless it appears the intent was not malicious, for example, to spread awareness of child exploitation. Okay? We report child exploitation to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. NCMEC, a nonprofit that refers cases to law enforcement globally in compliance with U.S. law. We choose to remove content depicting non-sexualized child nudity to reduce the potential for abuse of the content by others. So this is the kind of report that she got. It wasn't because she was discussing the Epstein files or Epstein-Loosh or anything like that. It had to be on a completely different level. And so before I get to, I'm just gonna take a quick break. You know, I haven't played my my actual theme song, and I do need to take a moment before. I want to take a moment before we get to looking at Sarah's Instagram confession after she lost her Facebook page, and we will get right back. Stay tuned.
He ain't no Saint Germain, no crown, no name. He plays the game, sharp as a flame. Who's to blame for the stolen fame? A shadow dance in the devil's frame. Caught in a rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on a stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lulz, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. City lights and sirens scream, truth and lies blend like a dream. Wicked smiles, a clever scheme, chasing gold in the neon gleam. Go in the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lulz, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. Fast, can't find the ground. Echoes of chaos all around. You chose this dance, this mad parade, but not every choice gets accolades. Go in the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lulz, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. Spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lulz, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. City lights and sirens scream, truth and lies blend like a dream. Wicked smiles, a clever scheme, chasing gold in the neon gleam. Going down the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole.
All right, welcome back to Not My Rabbit Hole. Okay, so I am going to share a video of it's titled "The Epstein-Loosh Experiences," and this is what Sarah does right after she loses her her Facebook page because of child exploitation. Basically is why she lost it. Child sexual abuse, like child sexual exploitation. I mean, it's not a so much for child sexual exploitation. Even she writes, so my Facebook account was suspended because they got mad that I was speaking out about Epstein and child exploitations, and my posts were going viral. So they did not like that because this is proof that they are trying to do damage control on the Epstein situation. But the what I just read, they wouldn't take you down for talking about Epstein. They would not. All right. And I just went through the reasons why they would take somebody down. It obviously she has a bag. There must have been some misunderstanding between her and Facebook. Like they said that sometimes they do miscalculate, or maybe there was a claim reported that they went back and they went, this isn't exactly the definition of what is considered sexual child exploitation on Facebook. I'm suspecting probably something like that probably happened. All right. But instead of like Sarah talking about what really might have been happening, she chose to like go to her viewers or go on Instagram right away and do damage control by doing this video. Okay.
Do this video today because I want to talk about Loosh energy harvest and how this ties into the sacrifices that they were doing of children and that are currently going on in the world. I've covered a lot of this in my bases project video.
Okay, so just to fill you in, right? Loosh is a term that was said a lot when I was like on Revolution Radio and back in 2015, 2014. That's when I joined, 2014. It's this thing about, people like the archons, the reptilians, the people that are toxic feed off of Loosh, other people's pain, other people's anxiety. And so she's pulling this in with Epstein and talking about how Loosh, how these, she's making this whole thing extraterrestrial. Okay. And so let's continue. And she just mentioned Miles Johnston from the Basis Project. And, that's where Sarah got her launch, was Miles Johnston and his, the base in UFO and all of it, the super soldier stuff. So, this is her super soldier roots right here.
This was years and years ago when I was quite young, where I talked about how I saw children in cages. I experienced where my soul went into their bodies also and experienced them being tortured, tormented, and these beings feeding off of them.
Okay, so yeah, that was part of Sarah's story. See, it's good to look back, right? It's good to talk about what happened in the past. But part of Sarah's story was that she saw children in cages, and children in cages also was very much, that's some of the stuff that, Stephen D. Kelly was talking about, what was going on underneath the Getty, which became part of the 17th letter of the alphabet folklore. Okay, so we're talking about these discussions of underground tunnels, extraterrestrials are involved with the trafficking. All of this myth comes from what Sarah's talking about. And around 2019, 2018, I can remember talking to, I think her name is JoJo Seebacher. And I had interviewed her, and she was a person that was supposed to help people who were targeted individuals. That was her. She had been targeted, or she was from an elite family, and all these things had happened. And she was there to be like a psychiatrist or a helper of spiritual targeting. And she told me that, oh yeah, Sarah said that she was in the cages. I do believe Sarah had said she wasn't just somebody who saw children in cages. She was in a cage herself when she was a child. I'm not totally sure, but my recollection goes in that direction because of this conversation that I had with JoJo. But, she could have been wrong, right? She could have, maybe Sarah said she saw kids in cages, but she wasn't the kid in the cage.
These are a lot of my own personal experiences that I was speaking about. And yes, I got severely bullied for that video.
And why the prayer hands? It's like, why the prayer hands? It's oh, I'm spiritual. I'm a Christian. Namaste. Oh, I'm going to come from this enlightened place about this story. That story total bullshit. And then I'm going to say I'm a victim of it on Facebook and pull Epstein into it. Because my listeners are stupid. They don't know the difference. They believe me and they give me money.
I went through so much for that video. So I did this video where I was talking about, okay, they're harvesting the energy of innocent children. They're torturing them. They're eating them. They're doing ritualistic sacrifice to demons. I got so badly bullied for that video. I had my sister she wanted to lock me up in.
Okay, so when did you make this video, Sarah? Was it like recent, or was it like back in 2014? Was it 2015? Who bullied you? Did anybody witness this happen? Does anybody even remember what she's talking about?
An insane asylum. It was pretty crazy, honestly. And looking back, it was like really a battle to get truth out there of what was happening behind the scenes, who the elite were worshiping, why they're worshiping these beings. And some of these people, I believe, have these beings embodied within them, and they have to do certain.
I look at this and I remember a time where I kind of believed this bullshit. All right. I'm looking at it, and to me, this is like a very scared person that knows that she had something very serious happen to her with her Facebook account, and she has to now concoct a story so that she can save face for her viewers. Oh, now it's Epstein. Oh, now she's a murderer for coming out with Epstein. I don't know, Sarah. That song I played earlier in the show, my song about Prince Andrew and everything like that, and the Jane Doe song. I did that like in July. I've been talking about Epstein. I haven't talked to, I talked about him in July. The whole modeling stuff, I was talking about that in last July. I did a deep dive into it. Not a big watch, not a whole lot of people watched it here on my channel. Jean-Luc Brunel, everything. I even uploaded some of those videos are on my Facebook page. And I still have one, Sarah. So you think this talk was why you were discriminated with? No, You've never stuck your neck out hardly about anything like this at all, Sarah. In what I've watched you do, what we've watched you do is talk about how much money you have that you don't have anymore or whatever. And going to all these conferences and, doing mushroom rituals and making a bunch of money healing people and telling people that you're a multidimensional life coach and the special psychic with these special skills and the special spiritual knowledge. You were never known as being an advocate, or a speaker of what was happening to children, or even in terms of Epstein or anything, Sarah, because you've been more interested in making your own money. And you know what, you guys, all you guys out there that want to defend her or go, oh, why don't you just go ahead and make up? Like I had this person, like, come on, like I forgot. I'm not going to say their name. They made a comment because I pointed some stuff out about like Sarah. I made some post about what Sarah's been doing to me, even with David Schroeder, the $5,000 offer to David Schroeder to have me taken down. And then David Schroeder immediately accuses me and Taj of blackmailing and extorting her. Do you not know how serious that is really for Sarah at this point? A business partner and a journalist and an online podcaster. And she is going to like offer somebody money for them to say something defamatory about them on the internet and harass them on her behalf. You don't think that that's serious? So this goes, why don't you just all make up because we need to like fight the bad guys? You know what? No, how dare you? How dare this person minimize what is actually really happening here and what she's guilty of in terms of what she's doing to people. No, there is no calling CPS on people's kids because she doesn't like what they're saying about her that on their YouTube stream, or they did something that she didn't like, or they stopped like allowing her to use them. And she's going to call CPS and try to have their kids taken away from them out of retaliation. And you want to come say, oh, let's all like hold hands and be kumbaya now? No, there's lawsuits about to happen. There's lawsuits happening. This is not like a girl's cat fight, which Sarah tries to make it seem like and feeds it to David Schroeder so he can sit there on his channel and go, oh, Terry is just jealous of Sarah because she's beautiful, and you were in love with Max Spears. I heard that shit said to me by Sarah over the years. It's so stupid. It's so high school, and yet there's David ready and willing to say it. Well, she right? Please sit down, guys. It's over right now. The veil is lifting. The prince has been arrested. Well, that's just the beginning. But Sarah wants to talk about evolution and everything like that. Okay, we know that the prince might be a shape-shifting lizard, and maybe that will be part of disclosure. But you know what? We don't know that yet. I'm putting the possibility out there. I don't want to totally dish David Icke. But to most people about this topic, that sounds nutty. I'm saying like outside of the conspiracy world. People that don't let themselves go there. Although, the topic of being, a reptilian is becoming very well known and popular in our culture. So, we'll see.
Things to keep those negative entities within them. So this is not going to be a love and light podcast. I am actually very upset with the New Age.
Why are you, the prayer hands just kill me? This is not going to be a love and light podcast because I lost my Facebook page. And I got to save my ass and my reputation. I can't tell you what really happened, because if I said what really happened, then, you might find out that I'm a grifter and a phony and a liar. So I'm going to pull in one of the hottest stories out there trending on the internet and pull it into me and make it all about me.
They were very cruel to me for that
And
video.
I don't know what this outfit is. This is just like, I don't know, Amish meets dominatrix meets, turn of the century. Like what is going on here with the outfit? Little House on the Prairie. At the bunny ranch.
They called me all sorts of names, said all sorts of evil things to me for me saying the truth, and now it's come out, and actually I'm sad about that today. I had a hard last 2 days just like processing of knowing these things, talking about them, and then them coming out.
And that's my Facebook page.
The public eye. And yeah, I wish that a long time ago people would have listened so that there could have been investigations into what I was saying, because I was actually experiencing like these experiences, and it was not a fun experience. It was terrible. I wasn't saying it because of the fact that I wanted attention. In fact, it got me severely bullied. I was saying it because this is what I experienced. So I have
notice how she's bullied. Like, she got severely bullied. Like where, Sarah? Because there's evidence that you bully other people, even using sock puppet accounts, right, Sarah? Like you're hanging around with, one of the biggest online bullies on the internet, Mr. Thomas Schoenberger. Oh boy, we need to give it a little applause for that, right? One of the biggest internet cyber stalkers. Bully had a company called Shadowbox, or it wasn't his company. He was like part of it to do dark PR on people with cyber guerrilla tactics using bots. Sarah, congratulations, because that's what you're part of. Yeah, you've been doing that for a long time. Being on Instagram and harassing people on Instagram. Harassing Carissa that I've never met before, but you're gonna tell David Schroeder that I'm doing black magic and sacrificing animals with her, so that David can say it. Yeah, Sarah, you are a number one bully on the internet. You're not a healer. You're not love and light. You're not a spiritual advisor. You're a person that your God is money, just like it's David Schroeder's God.
Different experiences. I am super empath. I also have where I will find myself, seeing the things that evil does. I have spoken to a lot of fallen beings. There is a war between the divine and these fallen beings that feed off of humanity, off the energy field of humanity, so that they can be here, in this realm, in these physical bodies. And that's they've escaped the lower realms and they're in these physical bodies. And to stay in the physical bodies, they harm the children. This is why they're eating human flesh, to keep their form. And this is what I was shown. And like I said, this is not going to be a love and light podcast at all, but it's going to have a lot of truth in it.
Okay, so why does she have to keep saying this is not going to be a love and light podcast? Let me do the prayer hands again. It's not going to be a love and light podcast. I'm going to talk about things that you've already heard about by a lot of other people. That it's probably a bunch of bullshit because I lost my Facebook page. I lost it. Oh my God. It has to be about Epstein.
So these beings actually have to eat the flesh of people, of babies, children, so that they can keep their form here in the physical. And I know that sounds terrible, but it's the truth. It's what I experienced. And this isn't the first time that these beings.
I mean, she might as well be Simon Parks. Okay, she might as well be, be Stephen D. Kelly. All right. Hey, Stephen, how's it going? Are you healing people? Are you Rambo still on the 7th dimension? I'm just curious.
Have harvested the divine creation. I was shown that this happened to Mars and other planets, that these beings came in and they were feeding off of the planet's inhabitants. So like I said, this isn't the first time. And these are things that I mean,
were people paying for conferences to listen to this by Sarah? Boy, did you waste your money? I feel sorry for you.
I had an experience that I didn't know, because they are worse than any horror movie. And we have a Holocaust going on. We have all these missing children around the world. We have a Holocaust going on of people and children.
Oh, there's my prayer hands. My prayer hands. My prayer hands. I'm so pure, and I'm wearing white. I'm a pure soul. I'm a divine goddess.
These beings are feeding on. And it's, nobody in their right mind is going to think, hey, I want to go eat human flesh, or I want to go torture or torment a baby. That is a being that has fallen from the light. It's so far from the divine that it, to survive.
Divine. It's far from the divine.
These beings have you have to realize how this works. This is so extensive.
Oh, you guys have to realize how this works, because she kind of has this sort of you guys have to see how this works. Like, I am above you. I'm above you. Oh, I have to show you how it works. I'm superior to the people that I'm talking to.
I'm going to be doing so many more videos about this, because wow, wow.
I'm going to do so many more videos. I'm launching a new career. I have the information. I'm Sarah Rachel Adams.
It's a lot to take in, but it's all connected. The divine, God, energy, fallen beings.
God, energy, fallen beings. I read a lot of Zachariah Stitchin. I saw a lot of Ancient Aliens, and now I made my own, version of that for everybody here on Instagram.
Oh, there's a lot connected to all of this. So from what I understand is that these beings have no energy. They have no energy. And a soul is actually light energy. It's the light of God. So these beings, they are locked in a lower realm. And what they have done is they have got certain human beings, eons ago, by the way, certain people to let them
It's
out.
weird. Sometimes I look at her and I almost want to believe her. I'm like, oh no, I'm getting sucked in. Stop me.
Let them come into their body. The Freemasons allow
Oh
them.
yeah, it's the Freemasons. Let's blame it on the Freemasons. Let's throw some Freemason shit on there. Let's do it.
To come into their body, literally. That's one of their Their practices is to allow the demon to come into their body. A lot of religions too are compromised. The religions.
Don't misinterpret me. I'm not saying the Freemasons are good, but it's like it's always throw some Freemason shit in there. That'll get people believe me. Oh, my prayer hands again. Please believe me. Please believe me that I'm telling the truth. Oh, I even painted my fingernails for this. Because I knew I'd do a lot of prayer hand gesturing throughout it. Because the more time I do a prayer hand in front of you, the more manipulated you will be to believe my bullshit.
Are all about black magic, demonic worship, allowing these demons to come into their bodies. And this is why we have the torture of animals, women, children, the terrible things that they are doing is because of that. They are feeding off of the soul energy, because yes, animals have light energy too. They have soul light energy. So they're feeding off the soul light energy. This has been going on for eons on this planet. This is not the first time. What you're seeing now with the whole Epstein situation that came out.
Here we go with Epstein. Now let's really, this is the part, guys. She set it up, but we're going to Epstein. We're going to Epstein. We're going to go to the big algorithm and talk some shit, while the real shit, like Prince Andrew getting arrested, is actually happening. Although she did this like a couple days before, but we knew there were things have been whirling around with the hearings and Pam Bundy, and oh my God, David Schurter now is like violated by Les Wexner. Yeah, he also inserted himself into the dialogue as well. Because why not, right? Why not? Bohemian Grove, anything that trends conspiratorial, they were victims of, associated, witnessed, or saw, and they're going to bring God into the equation. Isn't that lovely? Or spirituality, or divine, or being the divine goddess, or your light, my light. We're divine. Let me do some more prayer hands. Fuck that shit.
That's the tip of the iceberg. That is the tip of the iceberg. And Epstein was the fall guy. He's the fall guy. He's not the. Do you think that they have to feed to stay in human form? So okay, let's go back. They fell from God, the light. They don't have it. So to survive, they feed on the light in others. And children have pure light. So it's like children are like caviar to them. So they go and they feed on the children. That's what they do. And then what they do is they have, it's most of our elite leaders that are compromised. It's most of our people who run these different systems. I saw this, who run like the FDA, these different systems that governmental systems. Well, look, come on, the FBI, CIA, they didn't do anything about these
same thing David's been saying, right?
terrible things that were
CIA, FBI, government, they're all involved. The government's all involved. It looks like a fish there.
Because they're all compromised. All of these, what do you call it? They're kind of like, how can I put it? All of these associations, all of these government associations were created by these beings, because the beings run the world. They literally run the world. They're soul harvested every single day. There are so many people who go.
Not this whole thing. This is nothing new. She acts like she's giving all this information. It's gonna be a lot. You're not gonna understand it. There's all these beings and they're running the planet and everything like that. But forget about that. You heard about it with Alex Jones or anything like that. No, I'm telling you for the first time what's really going on.
Who are homeless, who go missing. There are many children who go missing. There's rape, there's murder, because that's how these beings feed. When you are in pain, institutions, thank you. When you are in pain, they feed on you. And that's why they like creating pain. That's why they're going to make laws where, hey, you have literally no money, you're suppressed, the AI system's taken over, so you can't even feed yourself, feed your family. This is what these beings are doing. They want to torture you and torment you as much as they can. So this goes beyond just eating physical children, eating physical humans. They're also feeding on the masses. Every time they create these laws and suppress the masses, they're eating the energy when you're struggling, when you're like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna have groceries, I can barely make it. They're feeding on that too. So they're feeding on the entire planet. And then, of course, they have their religions, which are institutions that they use to feed on humanity. when I was young, a lot of things I try to water it down because, like I said, these ridiculous New Agers were telling me, oh, it's evil what you're saying. Maybe you're a part of it. No, I'm not. I came to bring a lot of truth. And, I'm really upset
I came to bring a lot of truth
right now because like I said, if this had been investigated when I said this.
So like, if you came to bring a lot of truth, Sarah, like, when you offered $5,000 to David Schroeder to take me down, and you did give him some money, some Christmas money or whatever, or help his homeless situation, like as you said you did. I mean, you even text me that, right? But like when you're telling David Schroeder that I was blackmailing and extorting you with her ex-business partner Tahinder Gill, that's not true. So you don't tell the truth, and you will pay somebody else to also say your lie for you publicly. That's you're not a truth teller, Sarah. You never have been.
Over 10 years ago, then guess what? We might have been able to save a lot of children. We actually need to look into creating our own communities where we could start protecting the women, the children, protecting our soul light energy. That's what we need right now. You're not going to find that in religions. You're not going to find that in governments. They're not going to protect you. They're compromised by these beings. And that's the truth.
When you call people's, I don't know, you called CPS on their kids and you lied about them, that really wasn't the truth, Sarah. Let me just throw that out there. You do not tell the truth. Sarah has no truth. This is what no truth looks like, guys. You want to give money to that? Are you going to say that she's so intelligent, Thomas Schoenberger? Is that where you're going to email David Schroeder so he can post it on his blog?
So yeah, I am upset about that. And I'm happy I'm getting that out because I am so done with the New Age community. I'm so done with a lot of the weird conspiracy theorists too that are just like out of it. There's a lot of people and compromised out there right now. And these beings are using their bodies. They're feeding off the population. And I have watered it down, but some of the memories I had that was in the Vatican, they were also these beings that would now we go to the Vatican. Live for hundreds of years. They would go from body to body. The Pope is has some of the highest demons in him, and
he's got the highest. She kind of grinned at that.
Devil worship, and that these beings would they'd have in the back they'd have.
I mean, I'm not a fan of the Pope either, but still.
Where they would be feeding on the children, that they would be feeding on the population. I saw bloodbaths where they were taking
bloodbaths. Oh, here we go. I'm sorry, guys. I just don't want to be offensive to anybody, but she said it first.
I also, and this is similar of when I had experiences when
the people were taking the bloodbaths right next to the kids in the cages.
Taken to some underground bases when I was young.
Oh, see, it was in the underground bases. Oh, here we go. Here we're going underground.
There's snake beings. There's different orders of them. There's different orders of these falling beings.
Snake beings, snake beings, there is a folklore that there are a kind of like a lizard being sort of thing underneath the underground in LA. Look into it. It's pretty interesting. It's kind of a folklore. Who knows, right? But yeah, she's not, like I said, she's not saying anything new. She's just grabbing at straw. She's desperate. That is a look of desperation right there.
Get into that at some point. But anyhow, I would see that in these underground bases, they were they would get into these baths of blood mixed with, it was human, animal, and they would get in, they would absorb it into them. So that's definitely something that I saw happen I saw it happen into,
Wouldn't that not be the most disturbing thing? I mean, you gotta, any one of these things that she says, just take a little bit out of it and write a story around it, a science fiction story or a short story or whatever. Like, she's giving a lot of ideas out there, but none of them are based in reality. This is total fiction.
So I saw that a lot of
Sarah, maybe she should go to college and get a degree in writing. Sarah, you might really have some talent, except you're gonna have to work on your grammar and your punctuation. I mean, you have a lot of run-on sentences in your social media posts.
Okay, when there were, I know this goes so extensively, the things I saw.
But according to Thomas Schoenberger, she's bright and intelligent. I'm going to email David Schroeder that. Oh, now she's going to cry. Oh, such an act. Sarah, I really think that you should probably stick to colonic videos. Let's do another coffee enema. Let's go back to the coffee enema days, okay?
Because I still see stuff all the time. I'm so sorry.
I lost my Facebook page. That's where my pain is. I lost my Facebook.
Anyhow, some of the things I saw is that don't sign up for the military, because I saw that
Don't sign up for the military. Tell that to Erica Kirk.
Basically, when there were these young guys that were signing up for the military who were orphans or didn't have a family that cared about them, they would take them. They would literally take them. They're aware of people who don't have communities, people who are orphans, and they take them. I saw the whole thing with Disney. I talked about that years ago.
I mean, this is really disturbing to me. I mean, the fact that she's going to the lengths of crying and really, now she's going to throw Disney in there. The military's involved. She's this big witness for you guys. This is a show. This is acting. This is what acting looks like. This is what manipulation really looks like. This is how far it can go.
I saw it happening at more than Disney. I saw that. Okay, so Nickelodeon. One day I wake up.
I'm gonna make prayer hands again.
I see Nickelodeon's on, and it was my.
Let's put Nickelodeon in there.
Was at my friend's house, and I could see that they were putting subliminal messages of this stuff to traumatize, because when the person's traumatized, the child is traumatized. So
we already know about subliminal stuff and Disney and everything. God, I just feel like I've sifted through 1,000 videos with her right now that most of us already looked into and researched and already talked about ourselves, but not you, Sarah, until you lose your Facebook page.
To let your children watch any of these channels as much as possible, like Nickelodeon and Disney. I saw they were putting in the subliminals. I actually saw the stuff that they were doing on Epstein Island in the subliminals on Nickelodeon. I remember telling Max, I was like, I see these things.
Oh, let's put Max in here now, okay? And Epstein Island. Did you say I saw, what was that again? Something on Epstein Island. Let's go back.
In the subliminals on Nickelodeon. I remember telling Max, I was like, I see these things. Like, they're putting these images in children of trauma that are traumatized in them.
No, I didn't go back far enough.
See the child that years and years ago. I saw it happening at more than Disney. I saw that. Okay, so Nickelodeon. One day I wake up and I'm like, I see Nickelodeon's on, and it was my friend was at my friend's house, and I could see that they were putting subliminal messages of this stuff to traumatize, because when the person's traumatized, the child is traumatized. So try not to let your children watch any of these channels as much as possible, like Nickelodeon and Disney. I saw they were putting in the subliminals. I actually saw the stuff that they were doing on Epstein Island in the subliminals.
I actually saw these stuff on what they were doing on Epstein Island. Where did you see that, Sarah? How did you see that? Were you taken to Epstein Island too? Like, how do you see that? Oh my God.
Subliminals on Nickelodeon. I remember telling Max, I was like, I see these things. Like, they're putting these images.
Psychically, are you, is it in the astral? What? How are you seeing these things?
and children of trauma that are traumatized in them, and then that's bringing the frequency of the child down. When that brings your frequency down, specifically of the child in this case, that allows the negative beings. So okay, negative beings frequency is down here. They want to bring the child's frequency down, and then they want to elevate themselves, so they feed on the child. That's how they do. They drag the child basically into the lower underworld, and then they're able to be here this realm where they can escape their karmic repercussions for all the evil that they do. That's what they're doing. So yeah, I saw how they're taking the young
prayer hands. I saw prayer. Pray for me. I saw
from the military. So if you're an orphan, if you don't have a family, I saw them. I saw grave sites around military bases. I saw that schools, they monitored all the children that were from families that didn't really care about them. They monitored, and this is actually coming out to partially in the Epstein files. I believe they're trying to keep the other 3 million.
What? This is coming out in the Epstein files? Say it isn't so, Sarah.
Some files.
It's gonna come out. You know what? I think. Well, it's coming out in the Epstein files. Fantastic.
Because they don't want us to know. Well, they don't want you guys to know more. I know so much. I could talk for days and days about this stuff. I have tried to, like I said, water a lot of stuff down after being severely bullied by the New Age community, and even just being
being bullied by the New Age community. Oh my goodness. Nothing worse than that, Sarah. Nothing worse than that. Woo!
Myself by some higher ups, which I'll have to get into. And I've had physical encounters with, I should just tell you guys so much stuff. But anyhow, I myself, I was shown all this stuff. I was shown that they were like also casting dark magic with these rituals. So they cast them on cities, they cast them on the planet, and they would keep the planet's frequency down with these rituals of sacrificing the children. That was something that I saw going on. So I saw that's how they're doing.
Sarah, why didn't you come per hands again? Per hands. Why didn't you come out with this back when Fiona Barnett was out and everybody? If all this happened to you, why didn't you go in this direction? You're a little bit late to the party, sweetie.
A lot of what I call energetic false light timeline control. They're taking that energy of the suffering when that child dies. It's okay. So to change your timeline, you need energy. So if you're somebody like me,
notice that David Schroeder does the same thing. He used repetitive hand motions. The same thing with David Schroeder. She's doing a lot of repetitive hand motions that signify something. When she does the prayer hands, it means that she's pure. She's showing you that what she's saying is pure words. Trust me, I'm giving you the prayer hand. David does a lot of pointing and conjecture. Points. This is it. This is what you need to look at. This is what the truth is. Pointing. A lot of that. He does that repetitively.
I'm connected to God. So I'm here. The ocean's in front of me. I feel the energy of
my heart. I'm touching my heart. I'm a good person. Her body language is trying to convince you desperately of that. Love me. She's pointing towards herself. Please love me.
The energy, it flows through me, and God guides me. The divine guides me. Whatever you.
Prayer hands, God. I'm talking about God. I'm going to do the prayer hand.
The light, right? And the light sees everything. It shows me everything. So
because people like Sarah and David know that when you bring God in the equation, or spirituality, or something that's going to happen after this existence, because all of us are really pretty much afraid to die. We don't want to die, right? So it's a real easy way to like automatically put a fear and an emotion and an indoctrination into people by your hand symbol, by using certain things, by taking this out into the spiritual and God realm. It's a huge manipulation.
Shows me the secrets of the universe, and it's secrets of even the dark.
Secrets of the universe. Who doesn't want to know the secrets of the universe?
It's like, okay, this is what's happening right now. So basically we can shift timelines when we bring that when we allow God, the divine light,
Oh, we can shift timelines now.
come into, so we could shift timelines, because light, you need a charge of energy, which is light, which is sound, to change a timeline. They don't have that. They have no creator ability whatsoever. Has been removed from
Where's
them.
your creator ability, Sarah? I'm kind of wondering what your creative ability is. Like, because like it, Taz was your media guy. Filmed you, did the website, did all kinds of stuff, was your manager, got you on shows. But you don't know how to do your own show much. I mean, you can do like one of these, you can do an Instagram, whatever, but where's your YouTube channel? Where do you edit and add music and whatever and produce your own show? You've always allowed people to do the work for you, right? What are you going to do now when that doesn't happen anymore?
The divine was like, you have harmed me before, I will not give this to you. So what they do is they steal it. That's how they create these false light timelines. They, by torturing the child, they take that light of that child, and then it's encoded with the suffer, and they use that to change the timelines, to create false light timelines. So they're actually messing with our timelines right now.
I don't know how much more of this I can take, and I am in college, and I don't have time to sacrifice animals or do a long show on Not My Rabbit Hole. So I'm sorry, guys, but I'm gonna kind of go skip around a little bit.
This hell timeline, and that's the divine told me that this is one of the reasons I'm on this.
The divine told her. The divine told her. What is the divine, and why is the divine talking to you? Is that God? The divine. Who told you what? And that's the same thing. Same thing that David Schroeder does. I'm just comparing two people, right? And they are associated together, but they do the same kind of grift. David does the same thing. God told me. I had a dream. I asked God. He told me. God is showing me this. I'm special. I communicate with God. You don't. I'm above you. Listen to what I have to say. Now I need money. Hire me. I can heal you.
This planet was to bring this message. And so I did have an aberration of Jesus once, and Jesus said, Sarah,
now she's talking to Jesus, just like David Schroeder. An aberration of Jesus is talking. Not real Jesus, an aberration of Jesus. Is it real Jesus or not? But there you go. Jesus is now involved with her. I mean, I guess if you're going to lose a Facebook page and you want to convince people that you're not guilty of what they said you were, why they, suspended you for 180 days, let's pull Jesus out there, but not the real Jesus, just an aberration Jesus.
It wasn't easy on me, so it's not going to be easy on you. They killed me, so I do.
They killed me. Oh, what? What? Who killed you, Sarah? I mean, what's going on here?
Take some solace in that.
Did Facebook kill you? Virtually? Did you virtually get killed? You almost lost a huge leg of your virtual presence. And I guess it is kind of like a death, really. But she got resurrected and got her account back. Yay! All right. We'll give you a little applause for getting your account back, Sarah. All right, let's continue.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be a major shift. I feel like that a lot of people are going to
find out who exactly you are. Is that the shift we're talking about? Because I think that is the shift, Sarah. Just face it.
They're going to really, really take this to heart, and they're not going to let it go, which is a good
thing. A lot of us are going to take this to heart, what you've done, and we're not going to let it go. We're not going to let it go. We're going to bite down on it like a bad dog.
Thing. And
we're not letting it go, Sarah. We're not letting this go.
Like I said, we got to start in our communities, and we got to start looking of how can we help our elderly?
You know what? At Not My Rabbit Hole, we hate liars. That's why this is called Not My Rabbit Hole. All right. There is no mercy here for Sarah.
How can we make sure the children in the communities are okay? How can we do just things in general to help out our communities? How can we be less service to self? Specifically, like I said, men. It's probably going to piss some men off. Like, okay, men, stop playing video games. Get off of
No, is this not insulting to guys, right? Get off and stop playing video games. Woo! I think Sarah, maybe this isn't good, Sarah. Not when you're pushing 40. All right, let's continue.
watching TV all day, football, and go out and change your communities. This is really important right now.
Like, there's no men out there changing communities. That's not true. That's not true. You know what? We do not need to like defend, like, take away a man's pride. Isn't there the divine male? You're going to mention it. You mentioned it in this video. Either I might have skipped through it, but why are you dogging men, Sarah?
This is very, very important. So those are the small things we can do. And I'll do some videos because
here's a small thing you can do. Tell your man to stop playing video games. Get out there and help your community.
The divine God, like I said, whatever, the true name of God, I don't know. I just know and experience God. That is, it's a beautiful experience. And despite all the darkness.
Is it now? She acts like she's the only person that's experienced God's love or being connected to God. Like she's the only, it's a beautiful experience. Probably most of the rest of you guys never have had that experience. That's why I got to talk about it to you. So you will desperately still believe my bullshit. Oh, here's my prayer hands. Believe me, believe me, believe me.
I have had such beautiful experiences from God just enveloping me in its love.
I don't know what his name is, but I've had a really great experience with him.
And God showed me.
I guess I didn't talk. I kind of screwed up Prince Andrew's name. Oh wait, he's not the prince anymore. I'm sorry. Wait.
How we can elevate the planet out of this hell frequency. And I will be doing videos about this and where I'm not crying.
Yeah, I like to get out of the hell frequency that you put me in too, right? Like smiling there. She's happy now. Giggly. Oh, I'm a fairy. I'm living right.
Over just talking about these things because like it's been really hard, to speak about them.
Yeah, it has been really hard to deal with you, Sarah, and what you've done. It's been real hard on a lot of people. Yeah, it's been hard. How does it feel?
And so I'll be doing more videos about them and
will you now?
About how we can shift the planet. And I guess I'll probably
let's shift the planet. That's like that person said on my Facebook, get it together. We're gonna all make up. You girls, you're just feuding. You divine goddesses, warriors, doing your breast, doing your sword at each other. Oh, stop it, Viking ladies. We gotta go out and save the planet. That's not what's going on here, lady.
Be doing videos about some of the things that I know that are pretty.
Sarah isn't saving anybody. She's not interested in saving anybody but herself. Right now, right here in this video.
Intense because people need to know about them. And the only way for us to shift them and change them is to know about them. And they're not fun things to talk about. They're not love and light. They're really intense.
Yeah, you're not love and light, Sarah, when you go to David Schurter and make up lies that I'm sacrificing animals so that he can say something stupid like that about me on the internet, or you post things that I had something on my cell phone that I never really did, but you perpetuated it on your, YouTube and your Instagram. Why you do profiles that say Wig Terry Joyce and you harass me with it on Instagram. I don't think you're love and light at all, Sarah. And this right here, this Epstein-Lusch experiences, what You should have just came out and said, there must be a misunderstanding or whatever, instead of like pin yourself to Epstein so you can be some sort of martyr or divine goddess to cover up what you do on the internet. All right, I'm just, I'm still playing with my stuff here. So, you know what? We're going to take a really quick break, and we're going to get back to look a little bit of David Schroeder and how he has also inserted himself into the Epstein saga and was basically, as he claims to be, essayed now by Les Wexner. So we'll be back in just a moment.
When I die and they lay me to rest, I'm gonna go to the place that's the sweetest bed. When I lay me down to die, I'm going up to the Twinkie in the, going on up to the Twinkie in the sky. That's where I'm gonna go when I die. I die. I'm gonna bite the snack that I love best. Prepare yourself, you know it's a must. Gotta have a Twinkie if you wanna trust. Just saying, Lordy, I'm so spread. Gonna meet the Twinkie in the sky. Never been a sinner. I've got a sweet tooth. I got an orange sponge cake, a creamy truth. So when I die, don't ask me why. I'm going G up to the Twinkie in the sky. Going on up to the Twinkie in the sky. That's where I'm gonna go when I die. When I die and they lay me to rest, I'm gonna snack on the Twinkie I love best.
When I die and they lay me to rest, I'm gonna go to the place that's the sweetest best.
All right. All right. And we will continue with David Schroeder now, who is now a victim of Epstein. I'm going to start it from the beginning because it comes up quite quickly. Okay, now he's really into Sean Atwood because but when Corey Daniel was on it, that wasn't, he didn't want to be on. He wanted to dish Sean Atwood. But now that Sean Atwood, something that happened on Sean Atwood, actually really serves his purpose, he's all about it. So let's go.
10, but it's 12:30 in the afternoon. But there were things going on in town, and I had to go tell people stuff that had nothing.
And this one, he's so busy, he's in town. All right, so this one is titled David Schroeder Live. Kirby Summers is the first journalist I've heard say boys are involved with Epstein, because that's really important for him. He's got to be a victim of this. He has to, guys. He has to. He needs your money. He needs your money for a laptop.
Nothing to do with anything other than a deal that was going on in town. But people in town, there's a lot of people in town who like me. So I end up having conversations with people.
People in town like me. You like me. You really like me. You liked me.
And so
There's his computer. Did you hear it? Oh, let's go back. Let's hear that computer heat. Let's hear that laptop one more time.
10, but it's 12:30 in the afternoon. But there were things going on in town, and I had to go tell people stuff that had nothing to do with anything other than a deal that was going on in town. But people in town, there's a lot of people in town who like me. So I end up having conversations with people.
I have conversations.
So
Oh,
it takes
there it
a bit.
was. There was the computer. That's his laptop. That's not my laptop. That's his. I still talked over it.
Sorry, I was just checking.
Sorry, I'm checking.
So what I wanted to point out is someone told me that an investigative journalist named Kirby Summers, was on the Sean Atwood show yesterday, and I guess my name was mentioned. And
I don't know. I haven't verified that yet. I mean, but look how he looks down. Oh, my name was mentioned. Oh, let me bow my head. I'm so humble. My name was mentioned. I was mentioned on Sean Atwood.
so I went and actually listened to the interview because I wanted to see what this woman had to say. And
This woman, she was a woman. And oh, I'm so humbled. I got humble eyes, humble look down. And guess what, guys? It was a repressed and memory, but I was essayed by Les Wexner.
I came away from it realizing this woman knows her shit.
Oh, opposite,
You know, and she's the first
like a lot of his guests, right? I mean, every guest Sean Atwood has on knows their shit, man.
journalist that I have heard talk about boys being involved with this child trafficking mess. Because they never talk about
David. It has to be about boys, doesn't it, David?
boys. What boy was connected to the Me Too movement? What, there's not boys involved? You know, Corey Haim, that one dude that tried to sue him. I mean, Justin Bieber, there's no boys involved? Obviously there's boys involved, but you never hear about it. What boy was connected to the Me Too movement? What boy do you hear connected to the Jeffrey Epstein?
Because the hashtag Me Too movement, I think there might have been some men connected to the hashtag Me Too movement. I think you're incorrect about that, actually, David. Matter of fact, I'm going to research that. Let me see. Let me find out. Were men victims in the hashtag Me Too movement? I mean, you could say Brendan Fraser is the hashtag Me Too person, the actor Brendan Fraser, right? Yes, actually, yes. Men were and are victims of sexual harassment and assault within the context of the hashtag Me Too movement. Although the movement heavily focused on women's experiences, while hashtag Me Too highlighted widespread, primarily male-penetrated abuse, men also shared experiences of victimization by both male and female perpetrators. So, yeah, it was. So you are wrong, David. You're just full of shit right here. You are full of shit, David. Okay, so maybe that shouldn't have been an applause. It should have probably been a gong. It's more appropriate. You get the gong, David, the big gong, dong, dong.
Thing. There is one, I forget his name, but it's the first time I've ever heard of it. But I guess that she mentioned my name, and being on the Sean Atwood show, I was just...
Oh my God, you can see he was had an orgasm from it.
I had to go listen to hear what was being said. And
who mentioned you, Thomas? How'd you find out you were on Sean Atwood?
all she said was...
I mean,
She started-
we know it wasn't Smokey or Sherilyn.
talking about me, saying Fred Trump was in the pavilion in Omaha, Nebraska.
Oh, Fred
Which-
Trump. He was in. Oh, okay. Here we go. Fred Trump. All right. Here we go. Omaha, Nebraska. Here's where he comes into the story. Here we go. Insert me.
He was. So was George Bush Sr., Michael Aquino, Alan Baer, Warren Buffett, P.J. Morgan, Harold Willie Thiessen, Harold Christensen. You know, there was a lot of people in that pavilion when I was a kid. And there were people who were always there. Michael Aquino was always there. I will say that the interview triggered me a little bit because she brought up things that I had just put out of my mind. But you have to understand, when you're a kid and you're involved with this, you're generally so fucking drugged. You don't know. You just go with shit because what do you feel like when you're drugged? And then you go do it as a kid. And so some of the stuff that they were talking about, that she was talking about and bringing up, was just, oof. And then I went, for the first time ever, I went and typed in Lex Wexner and wanted to know what he looked like young. He was fucking in the pavilion. I recognized him. It's the same thing as I had this dude that befriended me when I was helping out at Unity Church. His name was Fred Zedek. He used to be a Catholic priest and just ingratiated himself into mine and my husband's life. And then one day he sent out a picture of himself and his lover, Gary, and they were young. And the minute I saw that picture, I recognized Fred Zedek from my abuse as a child. So they don't stay the same. And when you are drugged as a little kid, you don't realize who you're looking at until you go find old pictures. And really, when it comes down to it, Lex Wexner looked a lot like Michael Aquino. And I remember getting them fucked up as a kid. You know, that's this whole abuse. I watched the thing with Pam Bondi. It's interesting that I do that journey, connect with that electricity. It goes into the dark. Now the royal.
He has inserted himself into now Epstein. He's an experiencer of Epstein, just like Sarah Rachel Adams was in her last video. Same thing. And then now he's going to talk about some special abilities that he has, just like Sarah.
Are being berated. And Pam Bondi, you know, the only thing I wanted to say to her was, where was she? You know, where was she? She'll say Merrick Garland was there for 4 years and never said a word, blah, blah, blah. Well, you were fucking Attorney General of Florida during the whole goddamn time. Fuck Alex Acosta.
Okay, and so he'll go on politics and everything like that, and then, you know, eventually God will be here. And see if he prayed on this one. Maybe he forgot to pray. Here he is pointing his finger. You know, it's like, let's watch him. Let's watch his hands now. Let's watch his hands. Because we watched Sarah's hands.
You just need permission to be able to shine. And that's what I'm trying to give everyone. Because God wants us to shine.
See, he's talking about God. Oh, that was perfect. God wants us to shine. Sarah talked about God too. Let's put God in here in our grift.
And it's hell. I mean,
oh yeah, hell yeah. I know. I knew Michael Aquino. I'm connected to all of this. I know what the real thing is here.
I'm not telling you that it's going to be easy. In fact, just the opposite.
There goes his hands. It's starting.
Not going to be easy at all.
Has to convince you.
But it'll totally be worth it. You know, I'm glad that I helped Mika. Sorry, I'm not, you know, telling you that you are alone. Michael Aquino used to tell me that no one would believe me, and if they did believe me, they wouldn't care.
Okay, let's
3
go
days,
here.
and it was 4 days, not 3.
Here's his hands.
So I know it's her.
There he goes,
They're all-
pointing. I know it's her. I got a point about it. Who's he talking about here? Who's he talking about?
Quite honest, I flip-flop on Thomas. I don't trust Thomas at all, but could it be his Asperger's? Because we have been at each other's throats for so many years. But I will say, if I was an investigator, I would want to talk to Thomas.
Oh, yeah, he's got to point his finger about that. You're going to want to talk to Thomas because he has the scoop. He's got the scoop.
I would take
The scoop of the poop.
everything he said with a grain of salt and investigate everything, but I wouldn't just discredit, you know?
So he's telling you guys not to discredit the defamation that he gives David and money to defame everything. And you can see he's really using his hands there. So yeah, I wanted to point out what, you know, Sarah's grift and the correlation between everybody. Because they're doing this for the money. They do it for the money, and they are deceptive. And if you're sitting there in their chat and liking them and sharing them and backing them, Blazin and Denise and everybody else and Thomas, I don't know. You look real bad, in my opinion.
He ain't no Saint Germain, no crown, no name. He plays the game sharp as a flame. Who's to blame for the stolen fame? A shadow dance in the devil's frame. Go in a rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on a stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. City lights and sirens scream, truth and lies blend like a dream. Wicked smiles, a clever scheme, chasing gold in the neon gleam. Go in the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. Fast, can't find the ground. Echoes of chaos all around. You chose this dance, this mad parade, but not every choice gets accolades. Go in the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. Spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. City lights and sirens scream, truth and lies blend like a dream. Wicked smiles, a clever scheme, chasing gold in the neon gleam. Going down the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole.